What's good? What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode here of the Arizona Sports Fan. We are here to talk about the breaking news that ended up transpiring probably about an hour and a half ago to 2 hours ago. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have our Arizona Cardinal head coach. And ladies and gentlemen, right now, I think a lot of us have gone through it's a lot of emotions, right? There's a lot of people out there that are like, okay, right, let's see how this happens. There's other people that are saying, oh my God, this is the best signing in the world. And then there's other people saying that this is an absolute huge L of a signing, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of different things to talk about here today, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to me, I'm going to let you guys know my opinion on this whole situation. Now, obviously, there's a lot to unfold with, getting a new head coach. Now, granted, yes, I wanted Lou Anarumo. This is true. But this is not going to dissuade me from being happy for Jonathan Gannon. I'm happy for Jonathan Gannon. I'm honestly just happy that we got a head coach. Like, truthfully, right? We wanted Cliff gone. Cliff's gone. Now this begins the new era of the Arizona Cardinals. Monty Ossenfort, the GM, and our head coach, Jonathan Gannon. Woo! Feels good. It feels good to know that we now have a head coach, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely amazing. Now, big shout out here real quick to everybody that's currently in the chat. Appreciate you guys for coming in here. And definitely a big shout out to my sponsor here, Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code AZSF today so you can go ahead and get your deposit matched up to $100. Go ahead and download the app today and, start trying to see if you can, win some money there. All right, let's dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're going to dive into today. We're going to mainly be talking about, obviously, our new head coach, Jonathan Gannon, and this is how it all started. 2 hours ago, Ian Rappaport ended up dropping a bomb in the world of the NFL, and at one point, the Arizona Cardinals were the last team to get a head coach, right? Shane Steichen ended up going, and now, the Arizona Cardinals, got their head coach as well, and that's Jonathan Gannon with this report. It says the Arizona Cardinals are targeting Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon as their new head coach. Sources say they aim to work out a deal to lock him in. But after several weeks of searching, they finally found their guy. Now, this report saying pretty much that they knew that they wanted him, but this right here is a screenshot of the Arizona Cardinals social media page, and they're basically confirming it here, ladies and gentlemen, that Jonathan Gannon is the new Arizona Cardinal head coach. And honestly, I'm excited. I am. I know there's people out there that are not excited. And I really want to hear from you guys as well, because honestly, I know there's a lot of Philadelphia Eagle fans out there too that are not excited. Or I'm sorry, that they are excited. I apologize. That there's a lot of Philadelphia Eagle fans out there that are excited that he is being, moved off to the Arizona Cardinals to seeking a head coaching job. So we're going to talk about all that, right? And maybe even the future of DeAndre Hopkins. Like, what is this going to mean, right? Is DeAndre Hopkins staying? Is he going? A lot to definitely dive into. Let me get to my first contribution here of the day. We got the Chosen One says, congrats on the sponsorship, Mike. Proud of you. Come a long way since 100 followers. Absolutely. Thank you so very much for being here, man. I know you've been rocking with me for quite some time. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the donation. Yeah, let's dive right into it, right? We got a lot to talk about. So obviously we're going to mainly talk about this report here, Jonathan Gannon, and how I feel about him, right? And how you guys feel about him. I think it's very important to figure out how you guys are feeling as well, because I got a lot of comments. Out there. A lot of comments to kind of, go through. And for the most part, I think most of the fan base is happy. For the most part, right? Most of the fan base is happy, but a lot of the fan base isn't happy. Now, whether that's because they wanted Lou Anarumo, whether it's because they wanted Sean Payton, whether it's because they wanted somebody else, there's a portion of the fan base that is not too happy with the signing. Now, me, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to see how this is going to shake out for the Arizona Cardinals. The bottom line here is that the Arizona Cardinals have an opportunity to completely change the narrative, right? We have an opportunity here to completely change the what's the word? The era, right? The era of the Arizona Cardinals, which at one point Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury was the Arizona Cardinals, not anymore. It's going to a completely different change, and we're going to a defensive mind set. That's what we're doing, right? Obviously, Jonathan Gannon is a defensive-minded head coach, and that's how we're going to, go through the rest of the way. Now, I know I did get a screenshot of people telling me like, oh, his work that he's done in the NFL as far as being a coach is not very impressive. To me, honestly, I think it's decent, right? I don't think it's that it's not impressive, but like if you really truly look at it here, he was an assistant coach in the NFL since 2007, right? He started with the Atlanta Falcons as the defensive quality control coach. Don't know what that is. I'm only assuming it has to do with, some defensive scheme. I don't know, right? Then he also took a job here with the Tennessee Titans. He was with the Tennessee Titans within the same role, 2012 to 2013. Minnesota Vikings, 2014 to 2017. But in the Minnesota Vikings, he was the assistant defensive back coach. In the Indianapolis Colts, he was 2018 to 2020. He was also the defensive back coach. And then Philadelphia Eagles is where he really got his opportunity to kind of shine, right? In 2021, he got hired as a defensive coordinator, and then he has been that since the end of this year. Now, 2023, which is this year right now, he is the Arizona Cardinals head coach, which honestly, I'm excited about, truly. I am excited about this signing. I get it. I was trying to push for Anarumo, but at the end of the day, I'm going to trust Monty Ossenfort. I'm going to trust Michael Bidwell to see if they can make this organization what we all want it to be, right? Everybody in this chat that are Arizona Cardinal fans, right? Everybody in this chat that are Arizona Cardinal fans, this is where it starts right here. Because let's be honest here, Jonathan coming in here is not going to be, okay, right? You're in here, let's wait to, free agency. Let's wait for the draft, and then let's wait to the 2023 season. No. Jonathan Gannon has a lot of work coming his way. A lot of work coming his way, ladies and gentlemen. He needs to get a new coaching staff. One of the biggest questions is what's going to happen with VJ, right? Now, there was speculations out there that if Lou Anarumo did become the next Arizona Cardinal head coach, then he would keep Vance Joseph, right? There was the rumor out there. Now, is that going to be what Jonathan Gannon's going to do? Or is Jonathan Gannon coming in with his brand new coaching staff, right? A defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. That's going to be one of the biggest stories that I'm going to love to follow, right? Now, obviously, there is some names to kind of obviously talk about when you're talking about offensive coordinators. There's a lot of names that we've talked about throughout the streams, throughout the videos that we posted on this channel. But I think the truth of the matter here is that the Arizona Cardinals right now are finding themselves in a situation where this is where the 2023 Arizona Cardinals start, right here. This is right here where the Arizona Cardinals 2023 season starts. I get there's a lot of fans that aren't happy. I get it, right? I get there's fans out there that are saying this is an L signing. I get it. Here's my challenge to those fans. Let's allow this to happen, right? Let's allow this to go through. Like I said, multiple streams back. Let's allow Monty Ossenfort to cook. Let's let him see how he's going to transpire this 2023 Arizona Cardinals and how it's going to look, right? Now, we're going to know a lot. In the next 2 years, we're going to know a lot if Jonathan Gannon is the real deal or if he's not the real deal. We're going to know. We're going to know. Now, I think there's one thing that we also need to make clear as well, that this signing specifically was solely on Monty Ossenfort. Now, that's what the big national media is saying out there, that the fact that Jonathan Gannon was signed to be the Arizona Cardinal head coach when Lou Anarumo had such high praises, what leaned this way a little bit more to Jonathan Gannon was because the relationship he had with Monty Ossenfort. And that's what really gave him the opportunity to get this job, right? That's why they waited as long as they did, right? Because we could also blame the Super Bowl. We could also blame the fact that we needed to get a GM. But truth of the matter here is that one of the main reasons why Jonathan Gannon got this job signed, sealed, and delivered was because of his relationship with Monty Ossenfort. Let's be honest, right? Let's call a zebra, right? Let's call a cheetah a cheetah. We know it, right? That's exactly why he got this job, because Lou Anarumo impressed, is what we're hearing. He impressed very, very well. It's just, I think the thing that kind of leaned a little bit more was the fact that we had the relationship between Gannon and Monty Ossenfort. So I'm on the board. Let's allow them to cook. Let's see what they're going to do. Personally, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm ignoring all the Philadelphia Eagle fans out there because let's be honest, there's a lot of Philadelphia Eagle fans out there right now coming onto my videos, coming onto, this channel and saying things like, thank God you took him, right? Thank God he's not coming back to the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, well, deuces, peace it, right? This is our head coach. Let's see what he can do, because he's got a lot of work coming his way. He's got a lot of work coming his way. We got 2 contributions coming up. We got AZ Fan. What's up, brother? He says, one thing I like is that this was a Monty signing, not a Bidwell signing. I think the culture is changing with Bidwell, empowering Monty as a true GM. Ooh, yeah, I agree. Honestly, we talked about the idea of the hands in the cookie jar for Michael Bidwell, right? We talked about that. And we knew that Steve Keim had the autonomy, but we also knew that Michael Bidwell might have had the power, right? Michael Bidwell was also kind of playing that guy, which, his decisions were Steve Keim's, which they were, but I also know that, Michael Bidwell truly was also kind of putting his hands in the cookie jar, which he shouldn't. This should definitely solely be on Monty Ossenfort, which I'm excited about. What's up, Mr. Doug? He says they got their 6th choice and what was left. Nobody wanted the job because of Kyler is a headache. So here, this is what it is, right? This is the narrative that's out there. And I don't blame you guys, right? You guys choose to believe the way that you guys want to believe, right? And that's completely fine. Here's what I got to say to this. The Arizona Cardinals are the only organization that had to go through a GM change, they had to go through a head coaching change, and that had to host a Super Bowl on the same year, right? Now, the GM situation, that came up, what was it, a week and a half after, Cliff Kingsbury ended up getting let go, right? Around there. There is people that around the NFL that do believe this. And I'm not going to sit here and say this is wrong for anybody to believe it, but I do think that the Arizona Cardinals' back was against the wall, right? We hired a guy that was never a GM, right? We had to host a Super Bowl. And truly, if the Arizona Cardinals wanted to get Jonathan Gannon, they had no choice but to wait. Because if they hired Lou Anarumo earlier, I don't think this narrative would have been out there, right? The narrative is out here because the Arizona Cardinals are the last team to hire their head coach, right? That's why the narrative's out there. And I get where people are coming from, right? The 6th choice, and stuff like that. I'm all in. I'm all in. Truly, I'm excited. I'm excited about Jonathan Gannon. I want him to succeed here. Truly. I know I wanted Lou Anarumo. I know I did, but I'm not going to hold that against Jonathan Gannon. He obviously impressed to Monty Ossenfort. I know the relationship amongst each other might have helped them, right? But honestly, there's something to be said about Michael Bidwell allowing Monty Ossenfort to cook. And I'm excited about that. What's up, AZ Sports Girl? Hey, Mike, how are you? I don't know a lot about Jonathan Gannon, but I feel like this is a good signing, and I'm excited for the press conference on Thursday. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Right. I think we're all excited, truly. I think all the Arizona Cardinal fans are feeling 3 different types of emotions, right? Arizona Cardinal fans right now are feeling 3 types of emotions. A, they're feeling, let's go. This signing is an A+. When he was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, all the Eagles did was win, right? That's what some people's mindset is. There's other people saying that this is a big fat L and they don't like it, blah, 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 right? And then there's other people saying, okay, let's wait and see, right? Let's see what happens. I'm not either for or against it, but let's see how it goes through. I'm in that last column. I'm in the column where like, okay, cool, let's rock and roll. I'm a little bit more optimistic than most people that are in that middle column, but I'm ready to go. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited the Arizona Cardinals have a new head coach and are looking into getting a brand new facelift, a brand new culture, a brand new, everything, right? That's one thing that I'm very excited about. We haven't lived through or at least obviously within the last 10 years, a Arizona Cardinals organization without Steve Keim. We haven't lived through that. We've lived through a lot of different head coaches, but we haven't lived through that. So I am in the board of allowing Monty Ossenfort to cook. I'm on board with allowing, Jonathan Gannon to come in here and show that he can actually be the guy that most of us want him to be. That's one thing that I'm very excited about. Now, the Eagles, fan base, you're going to hear the Eagles fan base come in here. I'm surprised that there's nobody in the chat right now, but you're going to hear the Eagles fan base coming up and saying things like, ha, 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 ha. You took him. Thank God. Ha, 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 ha. He sucks. I'm glad he's gone. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it. The only person that's going to be able to change that narrative is Jonathan Gannon. That's it. That's it. You can either come to his aid or you don't have to, right? It's not our power to come after, and help our head coach. If you want to, then that's cool. But you're going to hear it. You're going to hear Eagles fans coming up on the stream and saying, haha, you guys suck. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm absolutely super excited to see what Jonathan Gannon can do for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, he's a defensive-minded coach, right? A defensive-minded coach he is. Now, because he has worked with the Falcons, because he has worked with the Titans, the Vikings, the Colts, the Eagles, if he is truly looking for the next offensive coordinator, which is something that we need, right? I think it's very obvious. We need an offensive coordinator. There's nobody denying it here that we need an offensive coordinator. Now, defensive coordinator, are they going to keep Vance Joseph? Are they not? At this point, it's going to remain to be seen, right? Once he gets fired, we'll know. But one of Jonathan Gannon's biggest things is that he needs to hire his coaching staff. There's no time to relax. The best way to describe it. There's no time to relax because in 2 weeks, we're in March. In 2 weeks after that, free agency. In a month from there, the draft. Or actually combine, right? But before that, the combine and getting the familiarized with all the draft prospects out there. So Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort have a heck of a lot of work to catch up on. Yes, we are one of the last people to get our head coach, but that doesn't dissuade me, y'all. That doesn't dissuade me. I'm very excited. Let me see what the chat says. Let's see if anybody has said anything. We have somebody in the chat says, your team never won a Super Bowl. Well, that's true. We haven't won a Super Bowl. But hopefully we can soon. Hopefully we can soon. What's up, Mr. Doug? He says, where are you? I saw, he says, Cards need to get rid of Kyler, but instead they sign him to a crazy contract. Well, we're going to talk about the Kyler. I'm assuming because Kyler Murray, right? It's one of the biggest storylines pertaining to Kyler Murray. I'm still on board with Kyler, but I do think that this next year is very telling for Kyler Murray and what's going to happen with him. We will be doing a specific live stream where we have people that are for Kyler and people that are against Kyler. So make sure you stay tuned. If you guys want to be involved, definitely let me know in the comments, not the chat, but the comments of this video, so we can kind of coordinate that to see if we can get as much people as we possibly can. But I'm excited. I'm excited. Now, my question to you guys is this. Here's my question to you guys. What is the future of D-Hop, right? What's the future of D-Hop here? Like, if you guys could give your best educated guess, what is the future for DeAndre Hopkins? Because we know that DeAndre Hopkins has spoken to Monty Ossenfort, and he said it was a very good conversation, but they did not speak about his future as an Arizona Cardinal, per what he said. Now, are we going to believe it? Are we not going to believe it? We don't 100% know, right? We don't know. What is the future of DeAndre Hopkins? What's your guys' best take? And I'm very curious. Let me give you mine. The rumors out there is that DeAndre Hopkins wanted to go to a contending team, right? That's what the rumors were. That DeAndre Hopkins wanted to be moved off and he wanted to go to another team, right? That's what the rumors were. A signing like Jonathan Gannon, I don't think it stops him from going at all. Right? I don't think it does. I don't think this is one of the signings that are a staple point, I guess, right? Because the only really one that would have been like, oh my God, yeah, we're not going anywhere is either if it was Sean Payton or Jim Harbaugh. Like, I'm going to be honest here. I do think that Gannon is a good signing, especially for what, we didn't have to give up any draft capital and a potential Eagles defensive coordinator. Hey, I'm on board with it, right? So, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm on the fence with DeAndre Hopkins, truly. I think he can stay. But I also do think that there might be some room for the door to completely be wide open for him to still want to get traded away, right? Now, what happens if the Arizona Cardinals do lose DeAndre Hopkins? That just means more of a rebuild. Literally, that just means more rebuild than more than anything, right? Because who we have right now is nowhere near the talent of what DeAndre Hopkins is. Nowhere near the talent of DeAndre Hopkins. Nowhere near it. I do want DeAndre Hopkins to stay. I do. I don't know if the signing does it. Maybe it does, right? Maybe it does. Because Jonathan Gannon, when he was the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, I mean, all they did was win over there. All they did was win. All they did was win over there. So he only was the defensive coordinator for 2 years, right? So we'll take that with a grain of salt, right? But in 2022, we know what they were, right? They were in the Super Bowl, for Pete's sake. They were in the Super Bowl. In 2021, they were a 9-8 team, and they lost in the wild card. They were a 9-8 team, and they lost in the wild card, but they made it to the playoffs. In 2020, it was Peterson. Peterson was there for 5 years. Nick Sirianni right now has none of his defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators anymore. They got to go through a search and try to find a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator, because we just took Gannon, and then the Colts just took Steichen from them. But the Philadelphia Eagles were 9-8 in 2021, and in 2022 they were, it says 14-3, right? 14, but they lost in the Super Bowl, obviously. The year that it was Peterson and not Sirianni, they were a 4-11 team, ladies and gentlemen. A 4-11 team. I'm excited because the Eagles knows how it feels to go from last to second, from last to first. The Eagles know that, right? Now, we got to give credit to where credit's due, and obviously Nick Sirianni, right? Shane Steichen, but also Jonathan Gannon's a part of that culture too. Let's be honest here. Jonathan Gannon is a part of that culture too. So that I'm excited. I'm stoked. The Philadelphia Eagles last year, 9-8. This year, we know what they were. They went to the Super Bowl. 2020, they were 4-11. That sounds a little familiar, right? That sounds a little familiar to the Arizona Cardinals. We were a 4-win team. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say the Arizona Cardinals are going to go 9 wins. I'm not going to say that. I understand who we are and what we are, right? We are an organization that do very well in 2 years, and we rebuild for 4 to 5 years. I know that. But that's what we need to change, right? We need to change that narrative. We need to change that stigma of what the Arizona Cardinals can be. And if Monty Ossenfort truly thinks that Jonathan Gannon can be that guy that can change the culture of this organization, let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. Now, let me ask you guys one thing real quick, because obviously, with all this news that's been going on, right? I didn't really get a chance to kind of see any of the any players that were kind of coming out for him. Has anybody seen anything about players coming up? Got another super chat coming in here. Video posted of Gannon meeting Kyler. Oh, really? Where is that at? An Instagram? Where is it at? Let's take a look at it. Here we go. Where's that video out? I want to see it. Because if it's on Twitter, I'm blocked on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. If it's on Twitter, I am blocked on Twitter. Where are you guys seeing the video? Because I need to see it. Oh, it's on Twitter? Dang it. That's the one platform that they blocked me. Let me see if I can do an incognito, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that with this. He was okay, well, let's do this. Maybe I can't do it this way. Sorry. Why doesn't Instagram have it? What the heck? Did he really run to him? Is this factual? Okay, now I'm curious. It's on YouTube too. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's take a look here. I appreciate you guys here. Let's see if we can take a look at this here real quick. Let's see if we can take a look at this. We got Kyler Murray apparently running. I don't see anything, man. Is it on a live? No, I don't see anything. Dang you, Twitter had to block me. It's a YouTube short. Okay. You guys are coming up clutch. Let me just be honest here. Coming up. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's share this bad boy. This is why you guys are the real MVPs. Let me be honest. You guys are the real MVPs. Let me be honest. All right, let me share my screen. Let's jump onto this YouTube train here right quick, and then let's take a look at this YouTube show. Let's do this.
All right. We'll see you soon. He's in there?
Now it's a done deal.
Hey, right. Let's go. There you go. Let's go. We're ready. Let's go. Let's go win. Got it? I got you.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. Okay. The first look, ladies and gentlemen, Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon. Oh, okay. If that doesn't convince you, ladies and gentlemen, the people that are telling me that this was an L signing, does that not get you hyped up? Does that not get you pumped up? We got Kyler Murray, our quarterback of the freaking future. Let's go. Let's go. Oh yeah, I mean concerns are there still, right? I see the people in the chat. They're still. I no, that's fine. That's fine. You know, we can still have our concerns. I think that's actual okay. We can still have our concerns, but does that not hype you the heck up, ladies and gentlemen? One of the best things I've seen ever. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you guys for letting me know about that. Thank you so very much for letting me know about that. Woo! That's definitely done for sure. Mikey Smith, W's in the chat for sure. W it up because that thing was amazing. Let's be honest here. Somebody says I'm getting ready to go 3-14. Come on, man. Let's be optimistic here, man. Let's be optimistic. I think honestly, sky's the limit here. Sky's the limit for this Arizona Cardinal team. Now, yes, the very first time that they met each other, right? The very first time that they met each other. So maybe we're getting a little too hyped up for nothing. Maybe. But boy, does that not give you excitement? Does that not give you juice to talk about? I'm stoked. Welcome to the Bird Gang, Jonathan Gannon. I don't care what these Philadelphia Eagle fans are out here saying. I can care two toots. And I want to see what year one of Jonathan Gannon can do for our Arizona Cardinals. He looked at Kyler Murray and said, let's win. He looked at Kyler Murray and said, let's win. Let's win. A thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. The Eagles are a winning organization. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles are a winning organization. A winning organization. In the last, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the last 7 years, do you know how many times they were a losing organization? Go ahead. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the last 6 years, the last 6 seasons, including 2022, do you know how many times they were a losing organization? Go ahead. Humor me and who humor me. Let me know in the chat. No, granted, I get it. Jonathan Gannon wasn't there the whole time. I'm right there with you, right? Peterson was a good majority of that time, right? But bringing that culture, bringing that type of person that's succeeding in the Philadelphia Eagles, bring them to the Cardinals, that's what I'm excited about. Let me give you the answer. 2017, winning season. 2018, winning season. 2019, winning season. 2020, not a winning season. 2021, winning season. 2022, winning season. In the last 6 years, they had 5 winning seasons, ladies and gentlemen. They were a one bad team in those last 6 years. You know how much times the Arizona Cardinals have been a bad team? Oh, wait. Every single time out of the 6. I'm just kidding. Not every single time, but come on. Let's go. I'm stoked, y'all. We got somebody in the chat said Jonathan Gannon's using the Cardinals for their money, and he knows Cardinals are worse. Let's go, man. Let's just try to change it. I get where the laughing stock, right? I get where the punching bag. I get it. I get it. But this NFC West to me is still open. This NFC West is still open to me. It is. We got Geno Smith in the Seahawks. Geno freaking Smith. I get it. He outplayed Kyler. I get it. This is a fluke. A fluke. We don't know what quarterback is going to be for the 49ers. Is it Purdy? Is it Trey Lance? Either of those two guys. And then we got the Rams. A regressing Matthew Stafford. This NFC West is open, ladies and gentlemen, and the Arizona Cardinals can be the people. I have the faith. I'm excited. I'm excited. Next super chat coming in. What's up, Mr. Doug? Appreciate another contribution. He says, was Gannon allowed to interview with the Cards while the Eagles were in the playoffs? At one point, yes. So here's the problem. The way that it was described to Cardinal fans was that because the Arizona Cardinals had to get a GM and other people didn't, the Arizona Cardinals were about a week behind. That's the way it was described to me. The Arizona Cardinals were about a week behind. At one point, the Arizona Cardinals could have reached out to Jonathan Gannon, but it had to be under the circumstances that it was a second interview. That's it. But because the Arizona Cardinals never was able to reach out to him, and then the playoffs happened, it was really hard to find a date to specifically kind of come back with Jonathan Gannon. So that's the reason why the moment that the Super Bowl ended, boom, Jonathan Gannon was right in the building, right? And then the next day, he came right back. And what happened? The Arizona Cardinals signed him. So great question. Fantastic question. Because I think some people might maybe have, their mind kind of swayed in a specific way. Jonathan Gannon couldn't specifically reach back out to us, or we couldn't interview him because at one point, once we signed our GM and we were ready to go, the Arizona Cardinals were behind the 8 ball because we needed to get the GM, because we were hosting the Super Bowl. We were so behind in a lot of things that I think Jonathan Gannon might have been the guy that Monty Ossenfort wanted the whole time. That's what it seems like, right? That this was a Monty Ossenfort signing. So that's one of the main reasons why literally 2 days after the Super Bowl, we already got our head coach, because I think they were eyeballing him for a hot second. They were eyeballing him for a hot second. So definitely great question. Great question. I'm excited. I'm excited, yo. I'm excited. All right, let's keep it with the chat here. We got somebody in the chat saying, as long as Gannon doesn't act like Adam Gase in press conference. Oh, I'm me too. Yeah. I don't want to hear credit. I don't want to hear give him credit. I don't want to hear we weren't able to execute. I don't want to hear any of the stuff that we were hearing for years in and years out, right? I'm not trying to hear any of that stuff. But you're right. Jonathan Gannon, and I was able to kind of jump into a few of his, press conferences. He talks like a guy that has authority. He does. He talks like a guy that has authority. He's 40 years old, so he's not old. He's not an old guy. He's younger than a lot of head coaches, but he's also not young, right? I mean, I just said he wasn't young. I mean, he's right there. He's 40 years old. So I guess think of it that way. Do you think he's young? Do you not think he's young, right? He's not the oldest. He ain't the youngest. He's 40 years old. Older than Cliff, that's for sure. 40 years old. And he's been a coach, right? Maybe not a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator or anything higher than a defensive quality coach, but he's been in the NFL since 2007 as a coach, right? As some sort of assistant. Right? Yeah. No, I see somebody in the chat saying the same thing. Like, I'm getting way too excited. And I might be, right? I might be getting way too excited. But just keep in mind that this marks a focal point of the Arizona Cardinals moving forward, right? This is a new era. This is what this is. So maybe I might be getting a little too excited because I see Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon dabbing it up. Maybe I might be a little bit too more excited. Maybe, right? Maybe. But it's better than the alternative, right? I don't think this is an L signing. I fall in the line of, okay, let's see what happens, right? That's where I land, right? I don't think that this is like a slam dunk of a signing, but if this is who Monty Ossenfort truly wanted to go after, then let's see, right? Let's let Monty cook. But there was also rumors out there that Jonathan Gannon was also in contention to be a coach last year as well. that he was actually a part of the coaching cycle. So it didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Like, it just didn't pop up out of nowhere. So he's been in talks about being the next, being a head coach before. It's not just popped up this year. What's up, Tanner? Appreciate the contribution. He says, I hope we hire the Eagles quarterback coach as our offensive coordinator. He really helped Hurts so he could help out Kyler. Let's find out who that is. And I think I know his name, but it's completely blanking me right now. Are you talking about Brian Johnson? Are you talking about Brian Johnson? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, this honestly, from the top down, ladies and gentlemen, from the top down, I think we're going to be seeing a brand new coaching staff. VJ, we might hear some news that VJ might, his services might not be necessary. We might hear it. We might. We might. So, hey, I'm on board, right? Get the people around you that know that they're good workers, though. I'm not trying to get people to get jobs because they're their buddies. No, if they're good hard workers and you know them personally, then bring them in. Hey, we're in need of a brand new culture. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. What's up, No F's Given? He says, sorry, Mike. You're funny, V. Go kick rocks. I just had to. Okay, I'm assuming this is somebody in the chat. Appreciate the contribution, my dude. Go kick rocks, somebody, apparently. Go kick rocks. I don't know. Here we go. Appreciate it. Here we go. Next contribution coming in. Here we got Chef Boy RB with the $10 donation. Thank you so very much. Appreciate the contribution, my dude. He says, I am actually excited to see the guys we drafted actually prosper since our defensive scheme is going to change. No more VJ using the rookies in the wrong places, and Simmons, Collins, and Sanders, etc. can flourish. Dude, you're right. Because this is one thing that I never thought of, right? This is where I'm going to admit that I was wrong, right? Where in the beginning of this coaching search, I wanted so darn badly for the Arizona Cardinals to get an offensive-minded head coach because I truly felt like that was what's going to fix Kyler. Honestly, it's not a big deal. As long as we get a head coach that can change the culture, that's going to be the leader of men, that can actually be a guy that people listen to when he's talking, that's what we need, either offensive-minded or defensive-minded. I 100% agree. One thing that really helps out Jonathan Gannon is the fact that he's a defensive mind. So if VJ does stay, which I don't think he will, but if he does stay, we have somebody to overlook Vance Joseph. Because let's be honest, our last head coach, he allowed full autonomy to Vance Joseph. He allowed full autonomy, and I mean full autonomy to Vance Joseph. So Vance Joseph could do whatever the heck he wanted, right? Vance Joseph could do whatever the heck he wanted because Cliff Kingsbury, our last head coach, literally said, I am going to not touch anything defense. You were a former head coach. You know defense. That is your baby. You're going to mold it the way you want to mold it. And I think you're right. The growth of our first round picks not being used in year one is a little disgraceful. I'm not gonna, a little disgraceful. It is. So if VJ does stay, like I said, I don't think he will, but if he does stay, we have somebody to also overlook the defensive side of the ball and saying things like, why aren't we using A, B, and C, right? What's going on? What are you seeing that I need to see? So I agree. I 100% agree. Because let's be honest, this draft, ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Carter or Will Anderson is going to fall right in our laps. Hopefully. Fall right on our laps. Woo! You give me a defensive coordinator that knows how to use these young rookies and mold their skills to the best of their ability. That's what I would love and absolutely love to see there. Maybe VJ ain't the guy. We'll see. But dang. Oh, buddy. I'm excited. But definitely great contribution. Thank you so very much. I think you're right on the head there. What's up, Soul? Appreciate you, man. He says he didn't allow full autonomy. That was part of the deal with hiring Cliff. They hired him purposely so Cliff could focus on just the offense. He didn't allow full autonomy. That was part of the defense. Oh, sorry. Wow. That was the part of the deal with hiring Cliff. They hired him. So I'm a little confused. So are you saying that they didn't give Vance Joseph full autonomy of the defense? Is what you're saying? As part of the deal with hiring Cliff, they hired him purposely so Cliff could focus on just the offense. I think that's what I was saying, right? I'm a little confused. I appreciate the contribution though, but I definitely would love clarification in terms of like what you're saying here, because I think we're saying the same thing. Because you're saying he didn't. You just got me confused. You just got me confused, my dude. But yeah, you don't have to super chat or anything like that. Just let me know. I'll try to see if I can kind of reach out. Okay, here we are. Of course, they gave full autonomy to VJ. Oh, there you go. Okay. No, Cliff didn't give full autonomy. Of course, they gave full autonomy to VJ. No, Cliff didn't. Oh, so you're saying the Cardinals did. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. So you're saying that the Cardinals gave full autonomy to VJ, not Cliff Kingsbury is what you're saying, right? Because I was like, I'm saying the same thing. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. I mean, right. Tomato, right? Tomato. Regardless, the Cardinals organization allowed him to, meaning that the organization, okay, so we're on the same page now. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the truth, right? I mean, it is. Whether it's Cliff Kingsbury's, thought process or not, Steve Keim did, right? Steve Keim did it, the Cardinals organization did, which Cliff Kingsbury didn't allow anything from there, because you're right, because Cliff Kingsbury didn't really have a lot of power. Yeah, you might be right there. Cliff Kingsbury came in as a brand new spanking new head coach, and Michael Bidwell looked at Steve Keim and said, hey, let's, get somebody here that was a former head coach. Yeah, I mean, you might be right there, but we're kind of saying the same thing where full autonomy was given to VJ, right? Regardless if it was from Cliff or regardless if it was from the Arizona Cardinals organization, full autonomy was given to VJ. But now, if we do bring in a Jonathan Gannon, got so much to overlook it, right? So I think that's kind of one thing I'm excited about. So we can now finally start getting our, our first round picks finally getting involved. I'm seeing, here it is. Okay. Is this the guy everybody's yelling at? Colt McCoy would be. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm seeing it. People are getting crazy in this chat here right now. I'm assuming he's a Philly fan. Just ignore him. Let's see here. Cardinals need to draft CJ Stroud. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so this is the dude. Okay, let's give I'm assuming he's a Philly fan. And if he's not, if he's a Cardinal fan, then okay, I respect your opinion. But if you are a Philly fan, let me give you this. Shamefulness. Right now, obviously, I think the Cardinals are staying with Kyler. I think at least one more year before we even see anything change for the quarterback. I know there's some people out there. That want to get, Kyler out. I'm not in the board with that. I want Kyler to at least go for one more year. And seeing Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray together is just it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. We're not going to draft CJ Stroud. We're going to draft who everybody thought that we should draft, right? Jalen Carter, Will Anderson. That's who we're going to go for. Oh, he's a Seahawk fan. Oh, even worse. A Seahawk fan, even worse. Sheesh. Well, I appreciate you for being on the stream, my dude, but sheesh. All right, let's keep it with the chat here. Appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. I'm surprised we don't have any Philadelphia Eagle fans, because I know there's a lot of Philly fans out there right now that are happy that he's gone. But like I said a little earlier, I'm going to lean to the side of, hey, honestly, at this very moment, I know people don't like him, right? I know people feel like the Super Bowl was kind of, given up by him. Let's see, right? That's where I'm at right now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I think that's kind of where my excitement level is. We got somebody saying, I'm surprised we have a Seahawk fan in here. That's interesting. Gannon has more leverage than Cliff. Where did that comment go? More clever than Cliff does, and VJ no longer has the ability to do what he decides to do. Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. We're saying the same thing. I think I just might have misspoke to kind of, get you to super chat. I appreciate it, by the way. But yeah, I do agree. Oh, this is going to be so cool. I'm so excited. Yeah, because if you think about it, Cliff Kingsbury was brand spanking new, right? No head coaching, no NFL experience, really. So we just had him because of Kyler, right? We had him because of Kyler. We wanted to mold Kyler Murray to be the guy, and they wanted to bring an offensive guru in, and we all know how that kind of worked out. So somebody in the chat says BJ's getting higher at the Home Depot. Sheesh. Sheesh. Gannon, Monty, and Bidwell have serious conversations to hold about the future of this franchise. Oh, of course. Of course. Oh, 100%. For the people that think that Kyler is going to go, I don't think if you think it's this year, I don't think it's this year. If that's truly, Kyler has more time. He has more time. Now, obviously, when Michael Bidwell came out and said that he wants Kyler to rehab, Kyler Murray was in the facility, right? Kyler Murray was in the facility. Obviously, they were able to dab each other up and they were able to kind of see each other in the facility. So Kyler Murray is there. So, which is pretty cool to see. Now, we also did see a video. I'm not sure if you guys saw the video, but there was a video about Kyler Murray and Devin Booker from the Suns. They were like saying, hey, what's up to each other? Because there was like some sort of party in Scottsdale that they were going to go to, or a concert. I don't really follow them too much, but Kyler Murray's moving, which is the exciting thing. Kyler Murray's up and moving. Obviously, not football movement yet. Still walking with the limp, but hey, still a step in the right direction. I agree. I am glad he's in the facility too. I'm not going to read that second part because, yeah, I'm glad he's in the facility as well. Let's see here. Kyler ain't going anywhere. I agree with that. Jonathan Gannon was just outcoached by probably one of the best coaches all time and Patty Mahomes. He tried his best. Now, I also did see somebody out there say that, Jalen Hurts also did fumble the ball, right? Like, Jonathan Gannon held that offense to 7 points in the first half. 7 points in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He held them to 7 points in the first half. That other 7 points that the Chiefs had came from a defensive scoop and score. That's how that defense, that's how that other 7 points came about. But he held that offense to 7 freaking points in the first half. So honestly, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. And I'm not going to use that as an excuse. And I get it. If we were in the same boat as the Philadelphia Eagles, I probably wouldn't have let that slide either, personally. But I'm not in the Philadelphia Eagles, right? I can care less. They're on their own franchise. To me, hey, I'm excited. I'm excited. Something in the chat says, I give the new head coach a 3-14 record for the first year. Nah, I don't think so. To be honest with you. I think that the Arizona Cardinals can win more games than 3 games this year. Truly. I mean, we got the talent. If you keep DeAndre Hopkins in this team, if you truly keep DeAndre Hopkins on this team, ladies and gentlemen, we can be a very good team. We can. We got the talent. We got it. We were a 4-0. We were a 4-win team, not because we don't have talent. It's because we weren't able to stay in games, or we had boneheaded mistakes, or we beat ourselves up. That's why we lost games. We beat ourselves. Injuries happened, right? Kyler Murray wasn't playing every game. DeAndre Hopkins was out for 6 games. It was a lot of pieces to accumulate to what happened in the 2022 season. We have a good roster. Now, yes, we are top heavy, right? If one person gets hurt, we need depth. But that's what we're leaning on Monty Ossenfort to do, right? Get us depth. Get us some good pieces in the draft, right? Bring in some young people, right? Bring in some free agency players. I don't think we're that bad, especially if DeAndre Hopkins stays. If DeAndre Hopkins goes, that's a different story. If DeAndre Hopkins doesn't stay, then that's obviously a different story. But honestly, I think at this very moment, we are here, and I think we have a lot to be excited about. Maybe not a lot, but we got some things to be excited about, right? Jonathan Gannon's the new Arizona Cardinal head coach. For the new people that have come in here, right? New people that are coming through, we do have a new head coach, and that is none other than Jonathan Gannon, former defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the report that came out here over 3 hours ago. It says the Arizona Cardinals are targeting Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon as their new head coach. Sources say they aim to work out a deal to lock him in, but after several weeks of searching, they found their guy. And then obviously shortly after, this probably was posted about an hour ago, Jonathan Gannon is now the Arizona Cardinal head coach. So excited. I'm excited. Somebody in the chat says, yes, Mike, because we sucked. Okay. I mean, whatever. Whatever. I still think we have a pretty good roster, right? Ertz, we saw Trey McBride kind of get a little bit better, right? We have Marquise Hollywood Brown, D-Hop. As long as we can keep the people that aren't leaving, right? Your Zach Allens, your Byron Murphys, those type of players, as long as we can keep them, bring in some actual good free agents that want to be here, that want to be great, and just don't want to collect the bag. That's what we need. That's what we need here. That's what we need. So, and then the draft too. The draft is huge. We're going to see a first time in a very long time a draft that's been, we're going to see a draft from somebody else other than our former GM. We're going to see a draft. And honestly, I think for the most part, most people will be on the same wavelength. Because I kid you not, every single time we watch the draft, ladies and gentlemen, I was like, this is who the Arizona Cardinals should get. And then the Cardinals are on the clock and we get somebody completely different. I'm like, what the heck? Now, I'm not sitting here and saying that I know it all. No, I'm not sitting here and saying that. But obviously, the Arizona Cardinals are where they're at right now because the drafting hasn't been the best, right? Free agent pickups haven't been the best. Trades work out. Trades work out very well. But I mean, we'll see. Here we go. Best contribution I've seen. Here we go. 4-3-D plus Will Anderson equals win. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. If the Chicago Bears trade away from that first overall pick, let's be honest here real quick with ourselves. If they trade away that first overall pick, the Chicago Bears, they're going to get a lot of capital back. Yes, but that's not what I'm focusing on. We are truly going to have our pick of either Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. Match made in heaven. Match made in heaven for either of these two young individuals coming our way. I'm excited. We just need the Chicago Bears to trade out of that first overall pick, because if they don't trade it, they might get one of these two players, which we'll just get the other person, right? We'll just get they get one, we get the other. It works out for our favor. We're the third overall, so we'll see. Let's move on over. We got Damian says, you think a new head coach will bring Minshew with him? It's a good question. That's a good question. Honestly, I mean, this is a good question because I know there's a lot to talk about with who our quarterback is going to be, right? It's a great question because we don't know if Colt McCoy is coming back. I know he's in contract for one more year. That I do know. Right? We might see Minshew Mania, maybe, right? But honestly, I would like Baker Mayfield. But here's the other thing. I don't think Baker Mayfield wants to come here on the understanding that he's going to back up Kyler, right? If I'm going to be completely truthful, I don't think Baker Mayfield wants to come here because he's not going to want to be a backup. So there's that. But maybe Minshew, that'd be kind of interesting. That'd be kind of cool, right? See that mustache? That'd be kind of cool. Somebody says, oh my goodness, F McCoy. Always love Minshew, F McCoy. Sheesh. People in the chat getting crazy here. Somebody says, I'll take Minshew. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't sound that bad. Honestly, it truly doesn't. I want to take a look to see who's going to be the available quarterbacks, and we'll kind of go from there. But that would be dope. That would be pretty sweet, right? Handlebar mustache coming up. And, he'll be the guy to kind of bridge Kyler Murray. Because let's be honest, Minshew is a backup quarterback, right? Backup quarterback. Now, we've seen him do good things. We've seen him do some very good things, and he'll definitely be a lot cheaper than Baker Mayfield. That's for dang sure. He'll be cheaper than Baker Mayfield. So that'd be kind of cool. Somebody in the chat says Derek Carr for backup. No, Derek Carr is getting a starting role elsewhere. Let's be honest here. Derek Carr is getting a starting role elsewhere. Somebody in the chat says Teddy. I'm assuming you mean Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. I feel like Teddy Bridgewater's time is kind of coming to an end. He's a very good backup quarterback, and that he is. The issue is that he just can't stay healthy. That's the biggest problem that we're running into. Is he just can't stay healthy at all. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. What I would love, to be honest with you, is the Arizona Cardinals draft a quarterback in the later rounds. The later rounds, right? The later rounds. Because we didn't give up any draft capital, which is huge. So we have every single one of our draft picks, which I believe, if I remember correctly, we got like 8 draft picks this coming year. So I'm excited. So I would love the Arizona Cardinals to draft a quarterback later on in the draft and then bring somebody in free agency and truly have a quarterback competition to be the backup quarterback. That's what I would truly, truly love to see, is draft somebody in the later rounds, right? and then also get somebody in free agency so they can truly have a battle in training camp to see who's going to be the guy backing up Kyler Murray. I'm done with the people that are just given the job because they are veterans. I'm done with it. I would love to see if we can use maybe a late round pick to get maybe the next Brock Purdy. We'll see. What's up, Brandon? He says, bring back the stash if we get Minshew. Oh, absolutely. I think everybody would love nothing more than that. Yeah. Oh, for me. Right. Oh, that might be a thing. That might be a thing, ladies and gentlemen. If we do get Gardner Minshew, I definitely think I might get the handlebar mustache for just maybe about a day or so. Because let's be honest here, I don't think my wife's gonna like that too much. I'm not trying to look like a pedophile out here. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, for sure. Maybe. Right. Maybe. Honestly, I don't think I look too bad, to be honest with you. We got some people that were complimenting me about the mustache, so maybe we'll bring it back. Fast says, bring it back. Yeah, man. We might. Let's see what happens with Gardner Minshew. I think that's definitely something that should intrigue Gardner Minshew to come in here. Give Mike the stash. I honestly don't think he cares or he doesn't know anything about this channel, but we'll see. Let's see here. Let's keep it with the what's up, Soul? He says Minshew looks handsome when he cuts his hair. I mean, yeah, he's not an ugly dude. He's not an ugly guy. I mean, some people just like mustaches, right? I think he looks really good with the mustache, to be honest with you. Chad Henne, didn't he just retire? I think Chad Henne just retired. If I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn I saw something like that Chad Henne just retired right after the Super Bowl win. Chiefs over Eagles, obviously. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, y'all, give me, this is it. This is how we're going to end this stream. Give me a level of excitement, 1 through 10. How excited are you right now that A, we got our head coach, and then B, it's Jonathan Gannon, wherever you want to put it. So 1 through 10, how excited are you guys about finally having our head coach of the future? Let me know I guess I'll use the future very lightly, right? Let me know in the chat here below, ladies and gentlemen. We got a 0. Wow. Okay, we got a 0. We got some 6s, we got some 8, some 6, some 0, double 0. Sheesh. What's up, Jason? What's up, Mike? Do you like the hire? Do you like the? I do like the hire. Yeah. Obviously, it wasn't my first choice, but I'm all up and board. I'm all up and board to support it. You know what I mean? I'm all up and board to support it. And who do we draft? I'm going to say the same thing that I've been saying a long time. Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, whoever is there, and whoever they think is going to be the best for the Arizona Cardinals defense. We got some 6s. We got some 7s. Somebody says bad hire. Oof. Let's see here. Give me Eric B to make it a 10. Oh, I agree right there. Same wavelength there, brother. Same wavelength. If we can somehow bring Eric Bieniemy in, oh, that would be dream made in heaven right there, ladies and gentlemen. Dream made in heaven if we can bring Eric Bieniemy in here. Offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, head coach Jonathan Gannon, and a defensive coordinator. We'll kind of see what happens from there, right? We do got some 1s. We got a 1 right there. We got a 3. Eyesores to the CFL. Sheesh. We got somebody saying 10. Back him up unless he shows otherwise. Exactly. That's where I'm at too. With my guy over here, Felix here, I feel exactly the same way too. I'm going to allow these guys to cook, right? There's no point in trying to crucify these guys yet. There's no point, right? We don't know what they're going to be, right? Just because it's not our first choice, right? Whether it was Flores, Sean Payton, Lou Anarumo, it's not our first choice, but still, that's exactly why we're here right now, to support what we can support. And at this very moment, I think sky is the limit for Jonathan Gannon and the Arizona Cardinals. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody. Welcome Jonathan Gannon as the new Arizona Cardinal head coach. I'm excited. I'm excited for 2023 Arizona Cardinal football. That's just something I'm very excited about. So at this very moment, thank you so very much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so very much for all the super chatters, all the channel members, everybody that's been, rocking with me since the beginning of this channel. Appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't already smacked the like button, please do so right now. Smack it up. Let's see if we can get over to 100 likes. Smack it up. Also, subscribe. If this is your first time here and you like the channel, you like the conversation, go ahead and subscribe it up. We're on the road to 12K, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't do it without you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cards.